All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to this game three of the final, technically kind of final match of the losers bracket here, as these teams are both vying for the opportunity to fight Bonks in the big losers bracket final. And we'll see who can win that and go back to fight '07 again. So somebody's tournament is going to go on and somebody is going to go home. Zath, talk to me about the KSC lineup.
All right. Well, KSC is choosing. It's almost like they're like, let's just rotate battleships and see what happens. Now Dastard's in a Bergonia, which makes sense on this map, right? It's fast. It can relocate. It's got
No, I
ridiculous
like this pick a
EG,
lot.
being better reload. So sure. And then we've got an Ohio. And then for cruisers, we've got Moskva, Des Moines, and Goliath. And then for destroyers, now we're looking at 4 this time. We've got Vampire Deuce, Double Gearing, and a Ragnar. What do we got over with AP?
From the South Spawn, AP trying to close this series out, sticking with Conqueror and Yamato. Des Moines, Henri, Moskva, and our Stalingrad. Rounding things out, Shimakaze, Vampire Deuce, and Ragnar. Now let's talk about the Bergonia pick for a minute, Zath. While the team's jockey for some early position, we've got a couple of minutes to talk about Bergonia. Why?
Sure.
First of all, I know you like Bergonia, okay?
Yes.
Tell me why, and tell everybody why you might consider bringing that ship to a King of the Sea match.
So the thing about Bergonia is she's almost like a larger Henri. She's got pretty good concealment. She's very fast, relatively speaking, especially if they took the newly added captain skill, commander skill, Brisk. Love the name, Brisk. So assuming Dastard is Brisk, he can relocate very quickly on the battlefield as long as he's not detected. Even if he is detected or does not have Brisk, he's still pretty darn fast because he's got the engine boost or whatever it's called, Spood Beast module, or consumable. On top of that, she's got, basically Alsace-ish guns, but with main battery reload booster. So what's really nice about that is you can set a target on fire, especially in randoms or ranked, wait for them DCP, fire with HE, use main battery reload again, and get them on 2 or 3 sticky fires, and just laugh as they can do nothing but, shake their fist at you, essentially.
Pretty much. Yeah, Bergonia, we've seen Bergonia in the event before, right? This is not the first time we've seen her in the tournament. And I remember the game that we saw her. Not only were you really excited, the ship was very impactful. In fact, the Bergonia that we saw earlier in the tournament, Zap, had a Kraken, had 5 kills on hotspot that day. So very good at finishing off low health targets. You've got 12, 15-inch guns. And the HE Zath is what I think a lot of people underestimate on this ship. It certainly is one of the things that I find myself continually underestimating on this ship. Now,
yep. And can we talk for just a moment about how sexy that Rhino camo is on that thing?
Yeah, he's got the Rhino camo checking out. Yeah, I was looking that. We were pointing that out earlier. His first salvo going out on Woshi's Henri way over here on the 2 line. Not really coming up with anything out of it there. The fight begins for A as KSC, that Serpent Lord, has his Vampire is going to grab B pretty much uncontested. No AP ships in the vicinity. They've gone for a hard split. 4 ships left, 5 ships right. They are going to surrender the B cap early.
Yep. Now, it's interesting. We haven't really talked too much about. We talked about the strengths of the Bergonia. There's a few weaknesses too. She's got 32 millimeter armor all around. So HE spamming ships that can pen 32 millimeters armor will just completely melt that kind of a ship. So it's not like you just got this god battleship that you can just go around and delete things with. It requires a lot of, careful thought.
Would you say that Bergonia potentially plays a little more like a really, really super heavy cruiser that way?
Oh, absolutely. I always consider her to be a large Henri.
Okay. Makes sense. Way more guns than Henri. 12 barrels on that ship.
Yes. Also easier to hit, though.
Well, she is. She is much easier to hit. That's true. 4 minutes gone. A little bit of early jockeying for position. KSC picks up B. AP picks up A. Right now, KSC may make a play for A. They're rotating Hitake's Ragnar over here.
I don't know if it breaks.
I'm curious
how
to
it breaks,
see.
rather.
I'm wondering who
good
can they
news,
see
it
over
looks
here?
like
Nobody at the moment. Yeah, not a lot of vision for both teams right now. I was curious if Hitake knew that, from his angle, most of the opposing AP ships wouldn't really have a shot on him, but he's
Mm,
not likely to know that given the amount of intelligence his team does and doesn't have at the moment on that flank.
right. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, we can see both teams at will. Obviously, they cannot do that. They have to. They
Yeah,
have to
no.
do it the hard way. They have to spot.
Yep, got to do it the old-fashioned way here. We do have the ability to show you in the heads-up display which ships are lit. You can see the little exclamation point next to Quincy's Ragnar there in the background. That
Mm,
tells you that he was spotted. He has gone dark now.
right. And if you see a little shadow, it tells you that he was spotted as dark. If you don't see a exclamation point, then that means
He's
the
never been
ship has
spotted.
not been spotted yet. Right, exactly.
Correct. A ship with no exclamation mark next to it at all indicates that it has never been spotted even once.
Just like Serpent Lord's Vampire Deuce.
Well, and ironically, Zath, Jason's Des Moines on the south side of the sea cap has never been spotted as he
No,
continues to shell Danny.
he's got the little the faded or the shadow
Interesting. He
exclamation point
doesn't
next
on
to it.
mine. It's interesting. He
Huh.
doesn't on mine. Curious. Well, KSC makes their play for A now. They push Aussies gearing backed up by Hataki's Ragnar into the cap. AP has backed way off of this cap, Zath. They've pulled
Mm-hmm.
Euro's Stalin, Caddy's Conqueror, and Woshi's Henri all the way down to the H line. They don't seem interested as the only ship kind of in that vicinity now. Polsky's Shimakaze has rotated up on the 5 line. He's a little farther forward. Actually, kind of hung out over here, if I'm honest. Well, almost within radar range of Hatake's Ragnar. Hatake doesn't know he's there, probably.
Right.
Serpent
Okay,
Lord's got torpedoes going that way. What's up?
at Seacap is being shot at as Floops now has 3 people all shooting at him. He's in trouble.
He's lit somehow. Is that Kakea's
Smoke
hydro?
expired. The
No.
smoke expired, and that's just a surface spotting.
Okay. Yeah.
It's
Oh,
a
I see it now.
non-legendary
Yep.
gearing.
Okay.
But Kekia just popped his smoke, which means he just took away spotting for his team.
He did, but I think he's also giving Quincy a bit of a shield to work from behind as well.
Yes.
Although Quincy just took a good hit from man with an RX-7's Moskva. Now Polsky got lit. Oh my goodness, Zach. They have beat the bejesus out of Polsky. I think he blundered into these guys. He wasn't sure where they were. Serpent Lord had put torpedoes down range, coming into Polsky's face. Obviously, kind of done with radio location, radio position finding. I don't know if Polsky took one of those, but goodness, he got beat up really bad.
Yes, he did.
KSC for the moment looking really good. 7.5 minutes in, over 100 and what a bit about 160-ish point lead here. Keeping AP well out of A and B. They're moving Dastard up and onto the top end of the A cap to kind of secure the A cap. I think at this point, Zath, if AP really wants wants C, just let him have it, right? Like you've got a nice lead. What does it matter?
I just wanted to mention that for a second. They're not even in C. Like you had said earlier, they're keeping AP out of A and B, but AP is afraid to go into C right now. Thanks in part due to Man with an RX-7's usual position for that Moskva. I mean, that's where you'd expect a radar cruiser to be.
Absolutely.
But look at this. Jason now being called away. They're saying we don't need your radar over here anymore. They don't think that there's a destroyer threat anymore. They want to go and reinforce, I guess, a push at B possibly because of Polsky's, not doing too well.
Well, I think they know that they've pushed Floops' gearing back off. And in fact, if you look at that smoke position over on the 9-10 line, it's obvious where Floops is on this flank. So having Jason there for the radar doesn't get them anything. They know there's at least one, if not 2 destroyers lurking in the middle of the board because Polsky just got his face melted off over there by those guys. So it makes sense then to maybe bring the Des Moines to where he's a little more useful. And now he's being picked up by Man with an RX-7's radar. Is he going to take one of these torpedoes? Is he going to take one of these?
Nope. He's all right. Oof,
he does not.
That was close.
Nice dodge right down the port side there. Jason manages to dodge it. But they know he's there now, so that's gonna allow Hatake and Serpent Lord's Vampire to kind of pack off the cap a little bit or find some cover so that they don't get surprised by surprise Des Moines.
Yep. Ika was detected by Man with an RX-7's radar, shot at, but looks like he might come off with the C cap. Yep.
They've I don't know if you've noticed. Oh, Polsky. Polsky with a luck chuck, taking a luck chuck tort from Aussie's gearing, and not even meant for him. Those were meant for Caddy's Conqueror. Polsky takes one. First blood goes to KSC.
That's so hard, especially in a competitive environment, ranked clan battles, King of the Sea. You got to be careful not to cross between a destroyer, an enemy destroyer, and your friendly battleship.
A potential target, yeah.
Yeah, that's the torpedo lane.
Now, Zath, I don't know. I also want to point out KSC's rotated man with an RX-7 around the corner. They backed him up. He's repositioned. He's facing into the B cap now. KSC kind of, I won't say they're hearing us. They can't hear us, but they've obviously come to the same conclusion. The game is not going to be won or lost at sea. And you can see AP hard redeploying along the F line here, trying to move ships up to the B cap. They're actually about to push Caddy's Conqueror onto the A cap.
Now, Serpent Lord has some conga line torps coming at Jason. They're all going to miss, but the important thing is Serpent Lord's keeping outside of radar range of Jason. Brilliant maneuvering there. As Jason's got his radar up, trying desperately to detect anything he can shoot at.
Now, something else I want to point out, KSC has, of course, pulled back off the A cap. They've let them have C, and in moments, AP is going to force their way onto the B cap just because, well, they don't really have much choice. They're coming up. They're over 400 points down, 9 minutes to play. They've got to do something. But look at Hitake, Zath. Hitake's Ragnar headed over to the C cap. He's going to be able to make a play here if he wants, despite the Mosfa position, as long as he comes in from the right angle and keeps some island cover in.
That's right. That's right. And that's a very smart thing to do. There's no point in going where the enemy is going. You go where they're not, and you force them to come to you.
Caddy's Conqueror was trying to stop in the A cap and missed, drifted out of the cap. Looks like finally going to try and reverse back on the cap. But Serpent Lord's Vampire just is raining shells over here. Caddy's never going to be able to cap this until as long as that Vampire is alive.
No, and now he's on 2 fires.
But it does stop the points gain. And he's got torpedoes coming in. He's going to take at least one of these.
And the DCP is up. If this is a sticky fire. Nope, it hit while DCP was up.
He saw the torpedo, so he went ahead and hit the repair, knowing the flood wouldn't stick, even if it hit a flood.
Right.
Yep, and there's the Ragnar. There's Hitake onto the top end of C, able to use that emergency speed boost to reposition where his team needs him. KSC on a 460-point lead. I won't say they're cruising to a victory, but well on their way here as they lose control of B. A is going nowhere, and they're capping C. Hitake is lit. Shells coming in from Quincy. They do get a reset.
Yeah, but now he's not lit, so he just has to wait a little bit. He'll be fine.
Yep. As the Moskva radar expires, Hitake will be able to flip C. So KSC is going to continue to at least tick up one cap it a little bit. They will own C. And in fact, you'll notice the Ohio, the Goliath, and Floops' gearing have all pushed well up onto C. I think once they own it, they're not going to give it up again.
No.
So as we look at the whole map here, Zath, KSC getting close to a win. It's not a done deal yet, but getting close. How do you make this from a path to victory for these guys, right? They own C now. They should be able to win on the one cap. Do you just kick back and try to just hold what you've got? Try not to go out quickly. Preserve your ships.
Well, fortunately for KSC, AP is giving them exactly what they need. Look at Woshi's Henri, just charging up the one line. Honestly, you focus him down, and then it's GG, as long as nobody else dies.
Well, RX,
just say that.
Yep, RX-7's been getting a lot of hate here. He's been taking shells on the broadside and in the face, so he goes out. But Woshi is, I won't say he's dangerously low, but he's certainly a pick target that they ought to be able to get here between the Bergonia HE and Coops HE as well. And who else is pitching in there? That's Aussie's gearing.
Right.
The Bergonia looking that way? Dastard looks like he's flipping his guns. Yeah, his stern turret's already looking that way.
So it's just a matter of time before that ends up. And then the question, of course, is who's going to be the next focus target for KSC?
Indeed.
There
as Woshi does go out, KSC dangerously close to 900 points here. All the way off of A, Caddy's going to be able to pick it up.
All right, Raptor, let me put you in the hot seat. Who would you go after next? Stalingrad or Conqueror? Who would you target and why?
The Stalin. The Stalin's going to burn. If you can get some fires lit on that Stalin, he's going to burn forever. But Coop pretty much can't get lit for a while, at least until he gets a heal off, right? The Stalin, he's like a 1 salvo kill for the Stalin. Dastard's even a little low. So he's and the Stalin's AP will do bad things to Bergonia at the wrong angle. So he has to be a
Absolutely.
little cautious as well. So now what you're seeing, those two guys are dark as they continue to retreat, try to lick their wounds, as Aussie is basically being told, just stay lit, draw his fire, keep busy. As Zath, Serpent Lord caught out by the Conqueror here. He was trying to block the cap. Serpent spotted, but Caddy's got AP in the barrel. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Serpent getting very, very low, 150 points. A secondary shot will kill him. Anything will kill him.
This is how about that destroyer behind him?
Oh, that is a huge mistake, Zath. I know why he went in there, but man, he shouldn't. All right, well, we'll see what happens.
And
down to the wire now.
Dastard has healed back up a bit.
He has, and have a look over at C. Danny's Ohio firmly ensconced in that cap, basically saying, "This is our cap. Come take it."
Right.
And it looks as if either Jason, well, they can see everybody in that gap. Somebody's radar must be up or something. They have eyes on everybody in that gap right now. They know where all those ships are. AP knows they've got to make a big play here. And KSC knows that if they can burn down the Stalin, they're that much closer.
Remember, folks, this is it. This is do or die for both teams. One team's going to advance, the other's not. So you can't afford to be making mistakes. Look at the push at C.
Yeah, it's coming. I mean, Goliath torpedo's already in the water, so Shadow Wolf is just torpedoes there are not going to land anything meaningful. Christopher's turning toward, he might stumble into one of those. Probably not. Those are spotted by his teammates now. Kakeya's Vampire Deuce is going to come around the corner. Zath, he's going to assassinate Danny. Check this out. Here, it's coming right now. Danny's not going to kill him. It's not going to happen.
Can he get enough torpedo hits or torpedo damage?
Oh, no. Danny only
3 torpedoes,
so Danny,
5.
He got 5 into the water. Danny's going to take them all. He only took 3. It's not enough. It's not enough, Zath.
Oh, and Euro goes down.
That's a big kill because seconds from a win here now. KSC they were at 988, Zath. And now AP is standing on the C cap. They have to get these guys off the cap if they want to win. Now,
and poor Shadow is looking at a Yamato.
Think about this, Zath. There's less than 3 minutes to play. If KSC can simply extract their ships and run the clock out, I don't think AP has time to catch them.
Here comes Yamato shells.
Oh, Goliath felt that. He's going to punch his fancy heel. And the goal. Oh, Christopher takes 2 torpedoes in the bow. Nice.
2 torps.
Nice Goliath torpedoes. Oh, and the Bergonia.
Oh, from downtown.
Dastard from 24 kilometers. What a shot.
Outstanding. Absolutely.
What a shot.
Outstanding.
Wow.
Entertained.
These two teams have just taken it down to the absolute wire. AP throwing every last thing they've got, every last trick they can come up with. And Zath, I don't think it's going to be enough. They've got 2 minutes to play. I think KSC's got this.
At this point, although look at Floops. Floops is letting himself get shot at for a sec there. Jason trying to get him down. So many opportunities for AP to come back into this match.
I think they stayed at C. They stayed at C too long, right? We talked about it at the time. KSC was ticking up A and B. AP owned no caps, and then finally, after what was it like? Like 8 minutes, maybe almost 10 minutes, they were like, fine, screw it. They repositioned, made a play for B, but man, it just felt like it just came too late in the match. They made it exciting. They certainly made it interesting, but KSC is going on to that 3rd place game. Just a repeat of history. Zath. KSC wins game 2 and 3.
We were lamenting missing the first game earlier. I don't feel like we missed too much. The action was so huge in 2 and 3.
Yeah, I don't feel like we got cheated here at all. This was a fabulous match. What do you guys think? Bogsy Ensconce?
Whew. Crazy stuff confirmed.
I feel like I just witnessed a bar fight. That was incredible. That was, guys, I gotta be honest. There was nothing pretty about that match. That was just a slugfest.
That was not pretty, but it was fun.
That was brutal. I'm glad that we did get some of those highlight moments. Dastert from downtown.
Oh yeah,
24 kilometers to Burgone, just catching right at the end there. What was really astounding to me was that AP was down, 400 points at one point, and then went, okay, we got to get back in this match. So they push all 3 caps after KSC had done incredible map control for the first 10 minutes of the match, and then AP goes, okay, we're pushing in. And we're gonna take these caps and we're gonna make them come back now after KSC melts back into the night. And then it got so close that even though AP was down still by several hundred points, there was the possibility that KSC has to push back into these ships and start to just one after another lose ships, which was happening. Just absolutely wild. What was your take on it, Oscotts?
I liked the early control, and honestly, I thought the respect was warranted in the first 5 to 6 minutes. At A, they're playing back. They're really holding that H line. They're just, I don't know about this, because they didn't know where the DDs were. They didn't scout Bravo, and KSC had 2 destroyers in that taking it. So they knew, we knew that they took it, but now where are they? The Shimikaze on A pulling back, staying away from the Ragnar radar. Basically, they were eventually captured C, which was cool, but I think AP made a critical mistake when they moved everyone over to B instead of leaving maybe just at least a destroyer, because they had a Moskva down there. They had support. Right. Moving everybody just kind of left it open. And not that I think the point difference may not have mattered at that point, because they really let those points tick up for a long period of time. But still, I think that was a little bit of a misplay. It made them force them to be uncertain how to go in, and it just delayed it even longer.
When we talk about these battles, Raptor will often say, Zath, what's their way to victory, right? What do we need to do to make this happen? And I don't know how many times I've said, they just need to all push. Like, they just all need to put the pressure on, find a place that's weak. If you're going to lose anyways, you might as well just go out with a bang. Everybody Leroy Jenkins it, see what happens. And AP did just that. And KSC gave AP so many ways back into this battle. They really did. I think that the only mistake, and we were talking about it, Raptor, as it happened, was when they pushed Woshi's Henri all the way that far up the one line. I think that was the big mistake for AP. Had they not done that, had that Henri been available later, you never know. It could have made a bigger difference.
Yeah. Sometimes the answer is everybody push W and cross your fingers.
That's certainly what that sounds like. That's what they attempted, and it worked out okay. But then eventually, that Henri, it just got focused down. Then the Stalin just got focused down. They couldn't, as you like to say, C-Raptor, they could not convert that push into kills. And there was definitely the possibility of that happening. What have you called it? You said the Stalingrad AP with those hard, advanced pen angles. You can take apart a Burgone, which has that 32 mil, and is susceptible to those advanced pen angles. So
kudos to that KSC team at north of A, right? You realize none of those ships died. I don't think, not one of them. They gave all of that ground. They tied those guys up all game. They inflicted tremendous pain, and at the end of the match, they were all still alive.
Yep. Yeah, the only thing that died at A for KSC was the Ragnar that came over there trying to harass that Conqueror for a little while. Yes. And when the Conqueror went dark, the Ragnar got a little too close to the sun, and all of a sudden just got slapped right out of a cloud. So when the Conqueror came around, it's like, uh-oh, this is gonna be bad. And sure enough, it was.
Gentlemen casters, I believe we have the replay ready, so we're going to say thank you very much for your awesome job on that. It's the best part about watching a cast is always hearing the excitement from the casters, and that's I think why you guys are some of the best to watch, because the excitement could be felt through the camera. So thank you. We're going to go watch the replay, and we'll see you for KSC versus Bonks to see who goes on to face 07 in the grand final.
See you in a minute.
Yes.
Okay. Ascants, we've got the replay, AP versus KSC. Walk us through, if you would please, the incredible positioning that KSC puts into the beginning of the match.
So I said before we went in, whoever takes B, it's going to be a high-stakes game. Turns out AP threw their hands up and said, you guys take it. They didn't put a radar there. They didn't put a Hydra there. Nothing. If they had at least put something to scare KSC off, that cap might not have been taken for the first 3 minutes, 4 minutes, just out of respect, But they didn't, which meant that went to KSC, which gave them a point lead to start. And then knowing that those destroyers were rotating out, Unseen threat. You have to respect the unseen threat. The Shimikaze of AP did, went down, seeded A, took all kinds of damage to some Ragnar Radar and a Vampire closing in on it. And then suddenly, what does A do? They don't have a Shimikaze to lead them forward because the Shimikaze has no health. So at this point, it starts getting dire. 300 points up, AP's got to make the move. They all start turning in. You can see the Conqueror, all of them just charging, man, because they've got the weight of health. Like, they've got the weight of metal. They just needed a way in. At this point, damn the torpedoes, full speed ahead is exactly what they do. You get to see KSC's Vampire rotate over to stall the Conqueror, and as KSC notices that AP's rotated all of their ships except that Moskva on the 10 line off of C. Well, okay, if they don't want it, we'll take it.
Everything
so they play a little
in.
bit of musical caps. Yeah.
Musical caps. And you know what was really interesting? You're absolutely right. They knew they could not actually withstand a Stalingrad, Henri, and Conqueror all pushing a destroyer, a light-ish heavy cruiser like a Des Moines and a Bourgogne, which is squishy, fast, lots of HE damage, but squishy. So they give respect and they fall back, and they did so in good order. They wore down that Henri, they wore down that Stalingrad, who cannot afford to turn around in front of that Bourgogne with that reload booster, with that main battery reload booster brought by Dastard's Bourgogne. They have to respect the fact that it can put out 2 volleys of AP shells really quickly, which means they could basically blow up Stali or an Henri, and that meant those 2 cruisers were committed, bow in, and they got summarily picked apart. And then once again, big ol' hit from that Bourgogne coming in. But really, I want to point out that I think you're right that the moment when AP decided to rotate everything from C, everything except for that one Moskva, from C to B, is when things started to feel like they just fell apart. And there was a moment there where it went, well, they're probably not going to catch KSC on points, but if they can continue to translate kills, which they're forcing KSC to come back into C, there was a real opportunity there when Man with the RX-7 went down, we could start seeing kills. And it was dicey there. But again, I really, really think that because AP let KSC have the B cap for so long, the point lead meant that AP was constantly in a position where they had to take the initiative from KSC, who already had it. That's one of those things. You can go be down on points. That's fine. We've seen 07. We've seen plenty of teams do that. Don't worry about the points. Worry about your positioning. Get those kills, because once the kills are got, then you can start taking the caps and just denying the points, and you can win in that way. But if you let them sit on it and you don't push back fast enough, eventually you are forced into a situation where it's like you have to push or you just lose on points. And that's what ended up happening.
Yeah, you can't just sit there. If you've always got to have an objective, you always have to have a way forward. Now, it's funny that whoever takes that first cap, it can be even just 2 points, just 2, and that forces the person that's behind to make a play. Now, 07, they can easily sink down 100 points. They can sink down 200 points. They don't care because they're going to play for the long game. They're going to trade. Every 2,000 damage we're going to do to you, you're going to do 1,000 damage to us. Right around that mid game, you're going to be down a ship, or you're going to have ships that we're just going to walk forward and you're going to run because you don't have the health to be able to do anything. And we're just going to take all this. Thanks. Thanks for keeping it warm for us.
Right.
They weren't doing that. AP was so safely positioned that while they were behind, they were not getting those trades. And they tried today. They really did. They got the Bourgogne so low. They got the Des Moines so low, but they couldn't finish it off. And those were points they really needed. And if they'd have gotten that Bourgogne off the field, their Yamato might have been able to clap that Goliath at the end there, too.
That's right. That's the big thing. That Bourgogne was such a threat up there because of that booster, because of that main battery reload booster. It can put 2 HE shells, 2 HE salvos, or 2 big AP salvos, or one of each in about, I think you can put 2 down in 15 seconds, 14, 15 seconds, something like that. And it's just such a threat to a cruiser, because that can wipe a cruiser that's broadside right off the map. And it did indeed end up being the thing that denied that Yamato the ability to push out and finish the Goliath. So there you have it, man.
Yeah.
So what this means is that KSC will now go on to face Bonks in a best-of-5 series to determine who goes to face 07 to be the NA winners. So just a little recap for you guys. Right now, KSC, Bonks, and 07 all I had 4 fingers up for a second there. All have guaranteed spots in KOTS Internationals. All 3 teams will be going to Internationals to represent the North American region. Congratulations to them right away. Congratulations also to AP, who fought extremely hard to make it up to the top of the bottom bracket to try and force their way back into the top 3, and it really came down to the wire. Congratulations to them. They fought hard. So, yes, please go ahead.
Top 4 ain't nothing to be ashamed at. Top 4 in a King of C is something that you can hold up, and it's going to be remembered not just now, but throughout. I mean, 07 came in 3rd last time. They're coming back. They're still a presence. Everybody that makes it past, heck, the round of 16, I mean, they're known.
Absolutely. KSC got knocked out early, fought their way up, not early, excuse me, earlier in yesterday in the brackets. They fought their way back up through the bottom bracket. Now they're actually in internationals. Like, even if you lose, it's okay. With the loser bracket running parallel, there is still, even if you get knocked out from the winners brackets, there is still the option to make it to internationals. So I like that that there is always hope at the end of that tunnel. So what we're going to do here now is, while Bonks and KSC get themselves set up for a best of 5 series, we are going to take a short break. We will have a short break here between this series and then also between the winner of this best of 5 and whomever goes on to play 07 for the top. So one thing to remind you folks of is that we do have Twitch missions going on right now. You need to make sure that your Twitch account and your Amazon Prime account, if you have one, are linked to your Wargaming account. You can do that from the website. You go up to account management, make sure that they're linked. For me, I believe I had my Twitch account linked, but not my Amazon Prime, and it was giving me trouble with that. Please make sure that both are linked. You can get 2 KOTS containers, as well as the ability to get the mission for the really, really, really neat North Carolina camo Bane of the Sea, which is made specifically for this King of the Sea tournament. You will also get several buckets of King of the Sea camouflages. There's lots to do in the armory for community tokens, which can also be earned by watching the main stream. So let's see here. Those are the prizes for watching. I think it's about time. Would you like a break, Oscants?
I could go with a break.
But we're going to take a little break right now. The next match should be starting in about 12 minutes. So about 5 minutes before, check back. We should be up and running again with a little bit of talk about ship bans and map selections. So join us then.
Captain, the 13th installment of the King of the Sea tournament is about to begin. The prize pool has almost doubled. It's $50,000 now, and the tournament winner will get $17,500. The winners of the regional stages will earn steel, doubloons, and special camouflages. But most importantly, you'll win glory. Your team will become known throughout the whole world. Broadcasts of the regional and international finals are an incredible spectacle that will keep you glued to your screen. The best players on the planet will clash in fierce battles. Moreover, viewers will be able to obtain up to 11 King of the Sea containers, a permanent camouflage for North Carolina, and a Tier 7 premium ship. Don't miss out on King of the Sea. Win a prize and become a legend.
Welcome back to the Grand Finals day of KOTS 13 North America. We are about to get started with KSC versus Bonks to determine who will face the reigning winners 07 devastating strike for first and second place. Right now, we're essentially fighting for third place. Whomever wins here goes on to have a chance at first or second. So, KSC versus Bonks. These are two of the strongest clans and teams of players in North America. They have both fought extremely hard to get to this point. Both are going to KOTS Internationals to represent NA. Let that sink in for a minute. Once again, Bonks will represent you in North America. But Oskons, what maps are we looking at here?
Well, we've got 5. This is going to be the first of 2 best of 5s. This will be followed by the grand final, another best of 5. But we are looking at Land of Fire, Northern Waters, North, Warrior's Path, and this was an interesting one. Hotspot's going to be our 5th map. If we get to a map 5, that one completely divergent. We'll have to see what they do.
Things are going to get a little hot on Hotspot. We actually have to trot it out to game 5, I guess. Well, first up we have Land of Fire. Oh, before we go any further, I think it's worth pointing out the ship bans. Anyone want to guess? Venezia and Alexander Nevsky. You guys had absolutely no fun. You know that? I wanted a Nevsky. I wanted a Venezia, and they all went, no, not going to happen. So fine. No more destroyer killers. Just bring on all the Ragnars. Bring on all the Marceaus. That's fine. I don't care. I didn't want to see cool cruiser-to-cruiser action.
Sad, Bugsy. Well, I hope you don't feel too out in the cold. They did actually get rid of Islands of Ice for you, so you can warm up a little bit. And strangely enough, Trap was taken off the board. Trap being that interesting diagonal map, which would favor destroyer play. So Venezia and Nevsky being banned, you kind of think, hey, we could get like a little pretty with destroyers. But no, off the map. Actually choosing Hotspot over Trap, surprising to me. I wonder if they've got some kind of secret strategy that they're going in with on the back end.
One can only hope. Let's go ahead and take a look at our next map, which is going to be Land of Fire. Mm-hmm. So we've seen this map a couple of times. This map lends itself to some spicy situations brewing around the A cap because of that great big island sitting in the center of A. Oftentimes we'll see a destroyer or even a cruiser with hydro and or radar taking a strong position at the corner, unable to be dug out. And then what ends up happening is on the one line over there, ships tend to start sticking their noses down, trying to get chip damage or torpedoes onto whomever's on the opposite side, but it's very, very dangerous. Over at the sea cap, often we have a stalemate where folks don't really want to dive into that Sarlacc pit of islands that surrounds the sea cap, but we do end up finding folks actually pushing up the 10 line, trying to dislodge and make C sort of the linchpin of how the entire match goes. But what about the B cap? Talk to me about the B cap.
See, KSC has a strange fascination with the island just to the left of B. They want to put a Minotaur there. They want to put a Salem there. They want to put a Des Moines there. And we've seen, I think not once, but actually twice, how they have tried to force a Des Moines, Salem, or something in there and watched as most or even all of the ship was ripped out from underneath them. So is that going to be a critical weakness? You have to know Bonks is ready for it. But I guess we'll have to see. Are we in the game yet, Bogsy?
We are. So again, we'll both of these teams have played multiple matches streamed over the weekend. So we're gonna have to see who's been doing their homework and who's been watching the other team's replays just to see what strategy they might come up against. But it is time without whatever. Let's throw it to C Raptor and Zeph. Let's get this game going.